Thank you very much for the introductions, and thank you very much for making the connection first, Michael, and thank you so much for having me here this morning. And you may ask in the first place, so why is he going to be here? You made the connection with art. I'm here as part of a journey, and it's a long journey, and I'm showing you part of my journey, or maybe a journey you're going to as well. And years ago, maybe 4.5 years ago, I would never envisioned in my life to be in front of an audience like you, or be in front of an audience at all, and then of an audience who's dedicating their careers, their life to curing very serious diseases like cancer or other things. So I'm going to thank you very much that you do this, as maybe 5 years ago I would have said that is other people's problem. We were young, considerably young. This is problems that are going to happen once you are old. And you're not encountering them usually once you're young. That's what you look at that, because our world consists, if you look at LinkedIn, everything is successful, there are no failures, and we're all healthy, and yada, yada, yada. So thank you so much that you do this. And I'm very pleased now to having the opportunity to share a bit our journey. I'm a business person, and I was married to an artist. I had a career in software. I had a career prior to software, a little bit in agriculture and farming, and things developed. We're not going to make, as business person and artist, a contribution to drugs, but we were confronted with cancer, and that changed our life. Prior to digging into more details, I'm going to show you a short movie, which you may say is unrelated to everything, but maybe it is very related. Take a look at it.
It's off the Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
And putting this in perspective, this is the NBA playoffs, which is like the Champions League in soccer. It's the seventh game in one of those series. And what you see is this amazing shot at the very, very end of the game. So it's 1990, and the one who makes the last shot wins the game and advances to the next round. And this guy takes this shot, and as you saw how it's bouncing left, right, left, right. It was not supposed to go into the basket. It went into the basket. So he took his chance, and the chance played out in his favor, in the favor of his team. Those guys were the underdogs, it's the Toronto Raptors, and they literally rallied. Then the games to come, they even unsettled the Warriors, if you know the NBA a bit, and they won the finals. They're the NBA champions. They took their chance. And I would say what we're going to talk today is a lot about taking our chances. Do we take chances or not? With that being said, let's move on a bit and introduce you to my life, the life of the women I was together with. Nicola, here you see her close to you in the Zillertaler Alps on one of the mountains. And she's relaxed, she enjoys life. Everything is very nice. We both met pretty young. We had children. We have children. I have children. They're grown-ups. They're now out of the house. I have even grandchildren. And I enjoyed a pretty good life, a pretty good career. Everything worked out nicely. She lived like you pray or advise people to live. She did a lot of sports. She ate well. She wasn't too heavy. She didn't smoke. No smoking, no alcohol, no drugs. So everything, like you say, people, please do so to avoid to get sick. So what should happen? We should just enjoy life and move life and may do things that may have an impact. She worked as an artist in wasn't there to get out. She was a little bit shy to go into confrontation with people like you to say, oh, I like this painting, but you could have added a little bit more blue to it or something like those things. So she was shy about it. Then came a day in May. It was a beautiful weather like today. And she had to go to the doctors for whatever reason, so there were some challenges. And the doctor said, yeah, we got to do one more test, and you get news next Monday. And you think, okay, it's going to be okay, they're just going to dig in a little bit deeper, the usual thing. And of course, you're a little bit nervous. And how to say, doctor comes into the office, in the room, and says, so I have to tell you something. You have cancer. And to cut a long story short, what he said was, he didn't say it like that, but he said, it's a serious cancer, I give you the codes, you can see them here. It's a CT4, then there's somewhere the CNX, and then it's a CM1G3. That's the classification of the cancer she got. Most of you will know this is pretty serious, this is pretty terminal, this is stage 4. This is once it's really serious. So that was maybe 3 minutes with the doctor, and the life you saw before changed within a split second. So you were healthy, you were trying to figure out what you're going to do with the second part of your life, your career. That changed everything. And we were there, so what are we going to do now? You can say we do nothing, or what you do is, and that's what we did, we said, let's try to take the chances, because there was a chance to be healed. Let's try to take a chance to be healed. Let's take the chance, let's find the best doctors, let's work with them, let's take the highest risks you can take in terms of treatments, and that's what we did. So that was one thing. What we also know in that moment was, we wanted to make a contribution. If that has to be the case, we have this disease, then that needs to be worth something. So she was very open to say, okay, whatever you do, it needs to be open to science. I'm going to be open to everything because it may help others. If there's the risk it doesn't help me, it may help others. So make a contribution. And then it was obvious there's no time to lose. There's no time to lose. We have no idea anymore how much time is left. How much time is on this shot clock you just saw in the previous. That being said, I would say the journey of hope started. We started this journey of hope that things turn out nicely, and you go through these studies, you go through the analysis and so on and so forth. And that is the thing, I think, when we talk about that, people like her, during her journey, what she had was the hope that the study she's going to go and be part of is going to go and be successful. And that's when you, with your job, you make such a huge difference in helping those people to keep faith, to keep hope, and keep their quality of life, which is essential as well. Because all what they have is this hope during the study that succeeds, and keep quality of life. Because they don't have that much time. And spending 2 hours extra in a doctor's office, it's 2 hours taken off their life. Our life is long, hopefully, but their life, they know, is short. You're taking that off. So be very careful. She said, there is hope. There's no doubt I'm going to be here. So she walked up the mountains. She's leading the squad, again in the Siddhartha, against bad weather, in the middle of their therapies, and she said, there's no way. The other thing was part of sorting out. You have to sort out things. You got to get things in order. You have to close certain books, and you're going to meet people. And all of us have to learn to live with the disease. You hear this is one of those common phrases. You have to learn to live with the disease. usually is addressed to the patient. Why I'm mentioning this is, yes, it is to this, but it's also everyone who is in the family and friends, they have to learn to live with the disease. And we have to learn, and everyone has to learn that these diseases, cancer is maybe the best example, don't spread into everything and have the tremendous power to destroy not only the health of a person, but to destroy family relationships, careers, lives, going way beyond. So we have to live with this. Time went on, and you see time is condensed. I'm hitting on this time thing as this is probably the one you're going to hear me today hammering the most. So there's one thing that is essential, that is limited, that's time. You're going to hear me later saying never waste someone else's time. What you do with your own time, that's up to you, but don't waste other people's time. That being said, she was an artist, and she had to do this one painting. We see this later for a wedding. This is a couple. They married the second time, which you could see if you know. She has 3 kids. So her plant of flowers has 3 kids, and this plant of flowers has 2 kids, 2 plants. And they come together and they marry, and of course, it's not only about them, it's about all of them. That was the message she sent to them, because that couple has challenges of integrating the kids. So, that being said, she did that. A few weeks later, again at one of those doctor's offices, and you have to say, so what's your profession, blah, 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 blah. You're wasting time like crazy in this information. The good thing was, one day she said, I'm an artist. Usually she said, I'm the partner, or housewife, whatsoever. And I said to her, hey, you said I'm an artist. And she said, okay, so be it. I said to her, so, but if you're an artist, no, what does it translate to? And then we had a chat. I said, yeah, I got to do something about it. But I'm only an artist. What should I do against cancer? I can do nothing. I'm not a scientist. I'm not in the industry. What's my value? And that went on and on. And then there was the idea, use art against cancer. Because, what I just said, use it as a means to transport things. And she said, yes, let's do an exposition, art against cancer. Let me do what I can to transfer my experiences via art. That gave her hope again. That gave tremendous energy. Something we're going to see later as well, is I think it's many times about the journey. It's not necessarily the outcome, but the journey. You have an objective. You want to do something, and that gives you energy, that gives you focus, and you can direct everything and you get something done. If you don't know where you want to go, it's rather difficult. So she had, out of the blue, tremendous energy, tremendous focus. She started to meet people only important, more important to her. She wasn't open to see anyone. So we had the question, my big question was, do we have enough time to get this exposition done before the final buzzer we saw earlier is going to come, because that was obvious what's going to happen, most likely. Do we have a chance? So then there was this exposition. And I don't need to go too much in detail. And so how do we get this done? And there was nothing, and it was difficult. And then we had this one friend who works as a cameraman, and we had a chat, and we said, he should take a movie of her. And she said, no, I'm not looking good. I'm not in good shape. We said, you know, if you just leave 5 sentences for your family, it may not be bad. And then she said, okay. And then she got quiet. And she was sitting literally dropped dead on her sofa when this friend came in to do the movie, and I had no idea how that is going to unfold. Then they sent me off, and she started. And I'm going to show you she did 1 day of work, 2.5 hours of footage. I show you 1 minute.
Ja, was mir bei meinen Bildern wichtig ist, bevor ich krank war natürlich, diese Bilder geben mir die Message, während ich dort arbeite. Und natürlich ist das ist auch ein inniger Wunsch in mir, der sich jetzt mit dieser Krankheit auch noch mehr manifestiert, dass ich so sehe, hey Leute, ne? Lebt. So. Lebt euer Leben, ne? Lebt es. Da passieren Dinge auf der Welt, aber das ist halt die Welt, auf der wir leben, ne? Aber so, lebt to the fullest, wie soll man sagen, ne? Lebt die Musik, die in dir gespielt wird. Das ist irgendwie sowas, was auch aus meinen Bildern kommt. Und das dann jetzt, da ich weiß, es wird nicht mehr allzu lange sein.
And then, like you have accomplished everything, like those guys in the game, the adrenaline is gone. And you could see literally hour by hour how things came to an end. And so literally everything was said. And it was time to go. But that's another chat. We had this conversation and she said, man, go and live your life to the fullest. And I said to her, you know, you're ready to go, I'll do the exposition for you. And I help ending this cruel disease. I said that to her and she let me go. So a journey came to an end, a journey of maybe almost 20,000 days of life came to an end. A journey of being together, a good 10,000 days. So half of her life we were together. The days were collapsed in 300 days. So, what should we do? How should we make a difference? And what at all should be our contribution? And why should I do it all something? I'm done. No interest. And then she talked all the time about this exposition, but she didn't finish it. So now I should do it? I have no clue. She was the artist. I'm a salesperson, I'm a business developer, but I'm not an artist. So, anyway, somehow you have to get out of your chair, you have to do something, you have to sort your house whatsoever. And then, which is now getting a little bit in your direction, you're going to talk and you're going to do some art today. So I'm going to started to sort my house. And I give you a few ideas. So there was once, she had to do a stamp for the seating cards for my father's birthday. She couldn't do the stamp. That needed to be a piece of art. That's art. She had her nephew and niece visiting, and they played at the river, and she made these puppets just out of soil and some grass. Of course, that's no longer there. Only exists as a photo. There was a summer party at one of my daughter's schools. So for the bratwurst, she didn't do just a sign. She did this one. Found that. That man was traveling most of his career, so to have him close, she did this small plastic. When you do a party at the bathroom, you always have to challenge how men have to behave. Here's the answer how they're not supposed to be doing. You could have expressed yourself differently. Christmas time, you eat a lot of cakes, right? And your partners, they steal them out of the box. So the box is empty and you find this. So that's art. And then I found this one. She's on the bike. I knew this before. But then, okay, you see all these pieces of art. Just an idea. An artist can't draw a single straight line. That's what I learned. I also learned they talk with their pieces of art. They don't necessarily talk to you, but they talk with their art, while their art. Then I looked at their art, one of those paintings. This is called the Carousel. So what is going to say us? And I looked at this 3 hours of footage. And here it was, in her words. So she did that footage and she spoke about those paintings. So she linked, and this is an important one, so she took her time, which is one thing. And the carousel says in her words, it's the symbol of not moving forward. You're always moving in circles. You're making no progress. It's very nice on the carousel because it's very convenient, very comfortable. We know this as kids. Sometimes you need to do this, but there needs to be a point in time when you have to get off the carousel, when you have to make progress, which is essential. When we talk about what we just earlier had about research, about curing those diseases, it only works if there's progress. It's very important to her. So I looked at that and saw there is a lot of material. It's all about progress, 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 progress. Not one day of standstill. You've got to be better, your results got to be better. Work on progress. I don't want to call it innovation because that's, in my mind, it's too big, too far away. But you have to work on progress, and it's a journey, this prevention, this cure, whatever it is for these diseases. It's wonderful if we make progress, but we also need to be strong enough to face messages, tough messages, when life challenges us. For that, we've got to be in a good shape, mentally, physically. Otherwise, those treatments won't work. You know that better than I do. And we have to be in the present. We have to be in the now. That's the moment in time where we can make choices. We can't make choices yesterday when we met for the first time. That's gone. We will make choices tomorrow, but now we can make choices. Those three things, they come together. And the storyline with that may be, she once dropped one of her earrings, these pearl earrings, in the Amazon. So that's gone. The friend jumped in the lake. He took his chance. He was there. He was strong in diving down. He had no fear. He grabbed that earring. And as she was an artist, as a thank you, she just did this piece of art for him. That was her way to say thank you. So that's the story about that. So let's turn this painting another time. Take another perspective on it. Because that's where this painting is there for, to turn it, this last one. Everything is there. The video is there. The idea was there to raise funds for cancer, use art for it. So there is everything there, the objective. And why don't we give it a try? So we're kind of going back to the Birdman. And you're going to ask, so why do we have all these paintings? And why? This is December 24, 2015. Why is this woman on her last Christmas Eve doing a painting? Why? Because she has cancer, she has other things to do in her life than doing paintings, you may say. And I'll give you the story. So we were, as I said, long years together. I think it was the first Christmas in Paris with lots of stress. And Christmas is always a stressful time. You have to find presents for kids, for your friends, and most importantly for your partner. Or you don't exchange presents. So what she did was she bought a teapot for me. And I bought something else, maybe same. So I opened this Christmas present and there's a teapot. And I was crushed, not emotionally because it's so great, it was just awful. So you're together with someone who has fantasy and creativity like crazy and you get a teapot. So this Christmas was a challenge. It was probably close, it was not close to divorce, but it felt like, what are you doing? So I said, And she was totally frustrated because I wasn't happy and I pretended to be, you know all of this. It never works. So I said, hey, Nicola, you're an artist. You're doing so great things. Won't you do, I just want a painting from you for Christmas and my birthday. Nothing more. I want things I can't buy. Just do something. And that started the painting challenge ritual. So that's why she did that on the last Christmas, and it's the masterpiece. It was very difficult to get that done because we had to go, it was a mess, but anyway. And she said something about that. And I'm going to read it a little bit. She was really under pressure of doing this. She started and she was really sick, so there were 3 months to go, 2.5 months to go until her death, just to give you an idea. She started 9 o'clock in the morning and threw this out. And she said it's very light, everything is in the air, and it's not important that the horse, somewhere there is a horse, may look like a horse. Those flowers may not exist, but there you can see that there are flowers. And the birdman, he doesn't exist either. And then she said in the afternoon, I'm done. We have this painting. We have the sentence, live the music that plays within you. We have the cyclists. We wanted to do something. And then I had a friend who talked with us, and he said, I'm going to do you this logo. You're going to see this a little bit later. And it resembles the colors of the painting. And we did the exposition. We said we do art against cancer. We did it at the German Cancer Research Center. We exposed everything. And we did it at the Institute Gustav Rossi. And no more places to come. We delivered on that promise doing this exposition, which isn't raising funds against cancer, but it's an exposition. So we have, as you know, you have to tick your boxes in project management, so we tick that box. And why don't we want to build resilience? What isn't a better way than going on a ride? Everything is a ride. We're talking about a journey, go on a ride. So let's do a bike ride. So we did the Nicola Werner Challenge. We grabbed a few friends, 30 people, and we went on a bike ride, 200 kilometers. Not too bad. And they all paid some money. We sold some printings. We got some money together. We had enough money to do the Nicola Werner Research Award. Because how do you make an impact in research? You either have freaking lots of money, which we don't have, or you be extremely, targeted. So we said, we're going to reward research excellence for young researchers. If they do good work in that field, they're going to get a reward. So they got a small reward, got some money, and they got the reward. And so that's what we started the first year. What did we learn in this time? Yes, losing is not an option. What a bullshit. You hear this in every second sales training, every second sales manager says it to you. What a bullshit. They have never lost. If you have lost, lose big time, and you sometimes have no choice. Thing is, never give up. And do everything to win and to take your chances. That you lose, that may happen, but just work as hard as you can to win. You may lose. That may be out of your hand, but don't give up. We're running out of time. Maybe with the speech, not yet. The other thing we learned is you gotta resolve problems. Problems are there to be resolved and not to be dragged along forever. They're hanging in other people's hand. They're taking time. Just get them done. That was one of the toughest things, to see how a person whose time is running out has to deal with problems she can't resolve because they're there forever. That is a pretty tough thing. Resolve problems. And then the other thing, we don't know how much time we have, how much is allotted to us. Those remaining 10,000 days, maybe 300, so only 3% or something like that. Never, ever waste time, which is super difficult. But if someone wants something from you, you can say, I have no time, can we talk tomorrow? Or you can say, we just stay quiet. There are many ways to be effective. We're not talking about time management. We're talking about being sensitive about how we're going to do this. So, as you know, we're going to take another look at that painting. We're going to turn it around another time. You're going to see another look. So, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't exciting, but it wasn't too bad. People said, we see you next year for the ride. That was not the idea. I had the idea they come once, and then I had fulfilled my promises, and we're done. So we will see you next year again. So something turns into an obligation. Okay. But there was progress. We made some progress, all in that community. And they all helped everyone to create a community. And what we learned is, everyone learned, you're not alone. We're going out. We have so many friends because maybe there was one thing we both shared is you got to give to get. If you start giving, you're going to get back. You always meet people. I'm trying now to sort them out of my life. The first question is, what is in for me? It's not going to be fun with them. That may be nice, but you don't get, if I talk about sales, you don't get to a good deal to them, you don't get to a good relationship with them. If they only ask what is in for me, no. It's more interesting, what could you accomplish with someone, not necessarily always to give, but if you talk about customers, what could you accomplish to solve your customers' problems? That they're going to pay you money is obvious later on anyway, but if your first question is the customer, when he asks, what do you want? I want a big check. That's bullshit. They know that anyway. But if you say to your customer, we want to work with you because we want to turn your research into another different league, and we can help you to be in those studies much better. That's what we want to do, more efficient, blah, blah, blah. That is when you start giving them something, and they're more than happy to give you something in return, based on this life experience. So, let's take a look at that challenge frame. Because that turned out to be an obligation. First year, 35 people. Second year, 55 people, same route. Again, the research award, same amount of quotation. So we did 4,000 euros divided in 2 awards. Then last year, we had 100 participants. We increased the award to 2 times 5,000. For some reason, it happens that there are always red-haired women getting this award. I have not figured out how we can get the criteria that also other people are eligible to it. We got to solve that. We were able to have, so we have these partners on the research side, we have a big partner, whoever is in this group as a cyclist, you may know Rafa, which is a very big cycling brand. They're one of our key partners. Holland, you may not know, maybe one person here, but that's like you have Hofpfisterei as your key partner for your nutrition, if put that in perspective. So, not too bad. And we met Mr. Zuhausen, the man who discovered the HPV thing, who was on the leading front for the HPV vaccination, and he endorsed us. So, not too bad. However, we were not there yet. There is still some unfinished business. And how do I tell you this? So you try to get things off your chest, you try to resolve things, and sometimes they take their time. So you're not off the carousel. What I already discovered is, out of this situation of totally hopelessness, I did this bike ride. I never intended to be an event organizer. We're meeting many, many people. We're creating a platform that people come together, that new friendships and so on are there. They all go away and understand cancer can be also my problem, which is going to change for some of them really their lives, because you have people joining, they have never been on the bike ride. First year they really suffer because it's long and hard. The next year, they're in good shape. They literally follow all those criteria because they want to be better. That's what we want to get to. So we're meeting people, and then there's the one person who says, there's this one friend, she wants to order some of these jerseys. I said, yeah, why not? Another 2 jerseys. So I'm selling these jerseys, I'm going to see this, and it's in a fitness center. And I hate fitness centers, or I like to be outdoors. And she says, hey Moritz, here's the check for the jerseys. You only get out of this if you sign up for 2 sessions. Okay. Because I wanted to get out of it, I needed to sign up for these sessions. And as she was a respectful person, I had to go there and do this. They were pretty awful, because you do things you have never done before and everything hurts. And I ended up in doing sports, which is no sports, and something I teased her all the time for. Some of you may do yoga, some of you may, which is very popular. There's one group of yoga, you call it yin yoga, where you do, if you are a cyclist from their perspective, you do nothing. You just sit there in one position and you gotta try to find yourself and all. Terrible. So I tease her all the time that she's on it, and okay, I go there, and okay, it's not too bad. I'm going there, think, okay, you're starting to incorporate what she does. Maybe I finally understand a woman, which is for men anyway difficult, but maybe. So I'm sitting there at the end of one of those sessions and think, okay, and then they're playing, and I don't play it for you, is they're playing a piece of music at the very tail end, which is called I Am Light by Indira Ari. Very beautiful song. And I'm crying out tears. No one can see it, which is good. So why? Because that was the piece of music she listened with her granddaughter her last 4 months every day. And that shows up in this session. Oh my God. So what I say is, I'm total believer of the power of encounters. You meet people and they're opening doors. You don't know which doors they open. That could happen. I never envisioned that to happen. And I also felt, okay, it's time to learn again a little bit, think a little bit through. There are no shortcuts. You have to go through things. You have to do the things that have to be done. Also learning, everything has its time. Some things are good for a period of time and then they're done. And it's on us to let them go, to acknowledge that they have their time. So in my situation, of course, the relationship with women, which is not that difficult. And here you see, this is very early, you see this me and her, we're looking in the book of life. We see in the United States, and we're looking in our book of life. And maybe that is the point in time to turn the book, to turn the pages. And also think, okay, you own your destiny. It's you. You shape your life. I shape my life. Of course, things happen you can't control, but that you're happy, and everything, it's you. It's about you. So let's turn the painting another time, and why don't we take a look what the pro has said? Blue, fantastic color. Because some paintings are blue because the painting asked for it. No idea that the painting, but that's it. So there may be a horse's head, there may be not. There could be his person. So she looks at it, and it could be a sailboat, whatever. There's lots of options. And so, thank you, friends. I would say we have to turn. I just turned the painting, and something wasn't right at the beginning. why don't we go from no but to call every day a yes if day? Yes if, instead of no, I can't close this deal by the end of the year because I have to go on holiday. I will close this deal and then I go, although I go on holiday, I close this deal prior to going on holiday. Yes, I close this deal prior to going on holiday. So there are many things. Or the other thing is, so many times you hear this, people come and you may be doing the same, or I do this still. I'm going somewhere with expectations. So, but maybe I go there and say, what is my objective? What do I want to accomplish there? Where do I going to go? What do I want to get out of it? What do I want to get into it? Than rather saying it's only my expectation. Turn the things. Or another thing is, you can try, and then yours the same, you can work like it. You can always do a lot of activities. And that may look good, and you may be very busy. But activities have never been accomplishments. It's about, so you can start, yes, if, turn things. So, maybe the title of this painting should be different. It should be called The Beginning. Now you will ask, okay, it all sounds good. How did we get there? We had, luckily for all of us, we had an overarching objective set very early on. We wanted to make a contribution. We want to have things to work on. So that helped us to do some things. That helped us to take chances, because we had something which was above our day-to-day sorrows and worries, which are still there. And don't worry, they are all there. So then you may say, so why is he doing this? Yeah, everything has its time. I knew I have to put together the things I learned in my career, in my life. Everything comes together. We're applying this and doing this. That is a little bit behind. And let's take a look at how these cyclists suffer. This is guys from the United States, early in the morning. These are the guys coming in from Germany for the ride. He came in from south of France. He's just from the neighborhood. He came in to do the coffee. Also a neighbor. She came in from Germany all the time. And that's just after she has done 210K. So they are excited, they're relaxed. Those two friends, they made it together. And that girl, lady, she runs this boulangerie. She's the boss of it. So they have even less men in their big company than you have. The men, they're only there to do the bread. And she runs the company, and she did that right. She had no time to train, but she did it because she knows for her mentally, physically it may have been tough, but mentally it was a walk in the park. She had bigger fish to fry. They're excited. They do a lot for their health. So that's what we have. That's the cyclists. They're all pleased. That's a lot of reward. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of reward. So what are we going to do now with this thing? I wanted to do something different, but it looks like we got to make this sports event on the road fight against cancer in Europe. That's the objective we're going to set up. And bring now together this year maybe 200 people instead of 100, raise more money, have more partners, and take it from there. We changed the logo. As you can see, the bike is there. Here we have the new logo. Try to get this to another level. We're working with many, many partners. You may know some of them, but you don't. And my asks for you are, that's almost the closing, let's just try to make every day a yes-if day. Never waste time, I hammered hard on that. Be present, shape your life, work on that, and build your resilience, make progress. And you may ask, okay, so what should we do? What should I do? Where's my coach? Where's my trainer? you can be trained, but if you remain a monkey, or if I remain a monkey, nothing changes. It's all in here. And there, if you reflect on your lives, sometimes you take a decision. It may take forever to get there, but once the decision is taken, you get there. And that's what I'm asking you for. And why don't we, although we don't, this thing is off, but it doesn't matter. So she doesn't say matter, it's only showing you one more time. One more time, the blue. And there are more colors to do paintings than blue, obviously. So, my question to you is, what would you turn around? And that's all what I have to share with you. That's my small journey.
That's a tough one to come back from. So, very inspiring. So you heard it before, so.
I did. I heard it quite differently. So sorry, go ahead.
So, we, as I said, we should enter a discussion.